I'm going to talk about something that I think is going to become a very large industry trend for the future when it comes to investing: hybrid investing advice. It's clear that contemporary models of investing advice, which seem almost binary between do-it-yourself and full service, might be creating an opportunity in between for a new generation of investors who don't want to be completely on their own, but do want a higher degree of autonomy. And I think this is a huge gap in the marketplace, and we'll get to that. Please note that this video is produced in partnership with BMO InvestorLine following on our collaboration to create the free Learn About Investing video series. And I'll include a link to my video that explains those videos in more detail, but it's completely free. You don't even need to register or be a client, and there are about 50 videos in total that you can watch, both in English and in French, so make sure to check those out. We know that there are some people who are quite confident, knowledgeable, and happy to set up their own investment portfolios and execute their own trades. There are a variety of reasons for wanting to be in this group. Lowest possible costs, there's the entertainment factor of investing for many of us, and some people just want a completely bespoke portfolio. There are a variety of use cases. We also know that there are lots and lots of people who use financial advisors, and there are lots of reasons for wanting to be in this category as well. Some people want to delegate completely. Some people may not feel confident or have the time to manage and execute on their own. Some people have complex financial planning needs, and so on. Now, I could spend hours diving into the difference between financial planning and investment advice, different compensation models, regulatory considerations, and more. But here's a very simplified framework to consider. A discount brokerage operates under what's called an OEO model, order execution only. Essentially, this means that you take full responsibility for all your trades and decisions, and if you blow yourself up by making a trade that you didn't realize was 10 times riskier than you thought it would be, that's on you. There is no advice in this model. If you do want advice, you don't really have a lot of choice. You either work with an advisor or use a robo-advisor. There are lots of different advisor models, but for the most part, you have some input, and the advisor takes care of meeting your requirements and execution. Robo-advisors are basically portfolio management in a can. You will fill out a questionnaire, get an assessment of how much risk is appropriate for you, and then an automated service manages your portfolio completely. Now, there are pros and cons to each of these three basic models I lightly described, and it's important to get matched to the right model. But what has become apparent is that there is a big gap in the marketplace, and I think that this has been well documented since the pandemic started. We saw an explosion of discount brokerage accounts being opened, not just in Canada, but around the world. And the undeniable size of online investment-minded communities like Wall Street Bets, the rise of meme stocks and influencers, some good, some not so good, peddling everything from stocks to options to cryptocurrencies and more. And I think there is a large group of investors who may not want to engage with the traditional models of investment execution and or advice that dominate the landscape today. And specifically, it's the group who want to make their own trades but don't want to go it completely alone. Right now, the only option they turn to for advice are these community-based forms of advice. And again, some of it is good, some of it is really, really questionable. And that's where I think InvestorLine's Advice Direct platform is in uncharted territory. It's basically designed for people who want to do it themselves with some guardrails. It's really kind of an enigma. So let's take a look at what it is and then see who it might make sense for, because it's not for everyone, but it might be one of the better solutions for this new emerging type of investor we are seeing. And I am curious to see how this platform evolves, because like I said, I see lots of potential for light investing advice for people who want to be hands-on. It has the same look and feel of a discount brokerage platform. You can buy stocks, bonds, ETFs, mutual funds, and you place your trades directly online yourself. But two things that are a bit different are the pricing structure and the portfolio oversight. So let's tackle those in turn. You need a minimum of $10,000 to invest, and the cost is 0.75% per year of the amount of money in your account, up to a maximum of $3,750. We see that if your account balance averaged $10,000 for the year, that works out to $75 for the year as the fee. As your account balance grows, we see that at $100,000, 0.75% works out to $750. We don't hit the $3,750 maximum until we hit $500,000 in your account. But as we go past this amount, the fee doesn't increase. So at $1 million, the fee is effectively 0.375%. And at $2 million, it's 0.1875%. But this doesn't tell the whole story. You also get a number of included trades that you skip paying the trading commission on because the fee covers the trades. And the number of trades covered is also tiered. So here's a table showing the number of trades included for the different tiers of asset levels. So for example, if we have someone with an account balance that averages $100,000, they would get 30 trades included per year that would forego the $9.95 trading commission. So if you have someone who is placing 2 trades per month on average, which is 24 trades for the year, they would be paying 24 times $9.95 per trade in the pure self-directed platform, which is $238.80. In the Advice Direct platform, they would be paying $750. So the additional cost over a complete do-it-yourself option is $511.20. So overall, Advice Direct is in line with robo-advisor costs, but instead of a completely hands-off portfolio, you are creating your own portfolio, executing your own trades. And instead of absolutely no guidance, you get some guidance. So let's now look at what this guidance is. Similar to a robo-advisor process, you will answer some questions about your investment goals, your experience, your financial capacity to handle risk, your risk tolerance, and your time horizon. This will create the parameters for monitoring your portfolio. But then it's up to you to place your trades, build your portfolio, and maintain it. But you'll get these alerts to let you know if your portfolio is drifting outside your custom parameters, and it will tell you how you would consider getting your portfolio back on side. So for example, it can alert you to when your asset allocation has drifted away from your target allocation. It will also provide specific trading recommendations to help realign your portfolio, like telling you which stock to trim your position on, and by selling X number of shares to do so. Also, every time you contemplate a trade, you'll see if that trade is within your portfolio's parameters or if placing that trade would put your portfolio offside with respect to your parameters. In this case, if you're wanting to add more to a specific holding, you would get an alert telling you that you might be over-concentrated on that one holding as a proportion of your overall portfolio, meaning that you are under-diversified. And unlike a pure self-directed platform, you can call or chat with a licensed advisor who can provide some context for the alerts and advice the system is giving you and talk about investing strategies with you and provide some light advice. Now, one of the criticisms that I've seen online is that people see this model as just a self-directed platform that's more expensive and includes a more intuitive stock screener. And again, I think it's important to match the right investor to the various platforms. So, for example, some people could absolutely go with a pure self-directed platform and set up their own spreadsheets to help monitor their portfolios and do everything themselves. But again, I think this platform lends itself to someone who maybe isn't that experienced, but may want to graduate to that level of confidence over time after using these training wheels, so to speak. Another pushback that I've seen is that the people you talk to on the phone, the licensed advisors, aren't allowed to provide advice that conflicts with the algorithm's recommendations. And again, the model is light advice. If you want more than light advice, then there are other options to consider. It's still going to be you mostly calling the shots. If someone forced me to predict what model of investing advice is going to see the most growth going forward, it's this light advice model. But that doesn't mean pure do-it-yourself self-directed is going to go away. I think that still grows as well, but light investment advice where people can be more involved is here to stay. And I think we'll see more innovation in this space in the years to come. The last thing that I'll mention is that for balances above $500,000 with Advice Direct, you actually qualify for what's called Advice Direct Premium. And since $500,000 of assets is where the fee cap is hit, you pay $3,750 per year, even if your portfolio was $5 million, which means your annual fee would be the equivalent of 0.08%. You still place your own trades. You still get the guardrails in the form of monitoring alerts and seeing how any trades you are contemplating fit with your risk and portfolio parameters. But you also get a dedicated investment advisor to be your sounding board over time. You also get access to financial planning resources. And for those with light planning needs, this might be very appealing. Compared to other models out there, you could still afford to hire a third-party advice-only planner to provide a comprehensive financial planning engagement with the cost savings, which might be appealing for those who want to roll up their sleeves and manage their own investments, but want to delegate the financial planning. Now, I think it would be pretty interesting if the non-premium service had a light planning component as well, as of course, I have a vested interest in that. And I honestly believe it's just a matter of time before that model gets a lot more traction. You start to see it everywhere. So the take-home message for this video is this. Advice Direct's model is not right for everyone, but is going to be very interesting for a fast-growing segment of investors out there. It's not for active traders, because presumably if you are trading a lot, you're putting a premium on the cost aspect, and the pure self-directed model is probably more for you. A robo-advisor, BMO's version is called Smartfolio, is more for people who want an online solution that is totally hands-off after you set it up. And it's certainly not for couch potato investors either, because you also emphasize keeping costs low. You have a prescription to follow that you shouldn't be deviating from or tweaking. But the Advice Direct model is something that is going to be very interesting for the person who wants to be a part of the investment execution process, but wants some oversight. You're not getting full advice, but you're not paying full service costs. And there are a lot of people who are in this category, both just starting out and with seven-figure portfolios. Right now, I think there are too many people who will never consider the other options like robo-advisors or fully advised investment solutions, who are left without anything except pure self-directed, without many options for formal or informal light assistance. I think it's going to be very interesting to watch this space. If you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel to learn more about money and managing your finances. And of course, hit the bell to turn on notifications for when I publish new content, and I will see you in the next video.